Okay, this video is for Aasif Anwar. Aasif, you wanted to know how to buy a truck and how much does an owner-operator make. Well, Aasif, to buy a truck is just like buying a car. You go to the dealership, you buy a truck, buy a car, usually with about $15,000 down payment. Now either you go through your bank, but it's from what I hear, Aasif, that these companies that give out loans or financing for trucks are better equipped to handle these things because they are more familiar to it, or not. But anyway, basically that's how you do it. You write a check for $10,000–$15,000 depending on the truck that you buy. It also depends on your credit. This is the way I would do it, Aasif. If I was to go on to be an owner-operator, first of all, I would never lease it to anybody. If I had the option, if I could do it my way, I will not lease it with somebody. I will not be a contractor with someone. I will have my own authority, my own business license. I will dispatch my own self. So again, here's the way I would do it. First of all, you need a lot of money. You need a lot of money to start a business. Just like any business out there, you need a lot of money in the bank reserves, because if you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck on your trucking business, I will guarantee you will not survive it. So let's just say we live in a dream world where everything is going well my way. If I had about $50,000 or less, I would go to the dealership. I would put about a $10,000 or $15,000 on a brand new truck. Then I would buy extra warranties for the truck. Then I would go to the OIDA, which is I think OIDA is spelled O-O-I-D-A. It's an owner-operator independent contractor. They do a lot of services for owner-operators, and they will work for, I don't know, $300–400. They will work to get all your licenses and DOTs and DOT numbers and all the license stuff, your license plate, all your insurance. They will work out all the license and all the paperwork. Second, of course, you need a trailer. So $50,000 is really not that big of an investment money. It really isn't. So let's just say you find a really good deal on trailers. You get yourself a laptop with an air card, with a Wi-Fi, with an internet. That way you can, an air card, Aasif, is a little device that you put in your laptop, and you can go on the internet wherever you are. You don't need a Wi-Fi. You just need a cellular signal, data plan. I recommend Sprint. because they have unlimited datas and all that stuff. Or AT&T or Verizon, something like that. In any case, what you want to do is you want to be independent. You want to, then you also want to go to getloaded.com. Getloaded.com is a message board. All these trucking companies, not trucking companies, all these manufacturers, shippers, and brokers, they will pay for this service to post their load into that website, so truck drivers, owner operators, and companies out there can find a load on they can find the load on the website. For example, if I was sitting in Houston, Texas, and I wanted the load going to Maine, I certainly would just look for a load. You know, I punch in the computer where I want to go, what kind of equipment I have, and it will be hundreds and hundreds of loads that will pop up. Then you start calling the brokers, shippers, and get set up with them. You first have to give them your truck number, your DOT number, MC number, insurance, what kind of equipment you have. Then you negotiate the price of how much that load, how much they're willing to pay for that load, and if you're willing to pay pick up that load for that amount, then you deliver it. Now here's why you need a lot of money in the bank. Usually it's about 30 to 45 days before they will pay you. So once you start trucking, the first month or 2 months that you're trucking, you're not going to make any money. You're going to be depending on your reserve in the bank because of all the fuel, all the maintenance, the toll. There's no money coming in. Everything is coming out. Putting in the truck, putting in the business, putting in the business. So that's why you need a lot of money that way. And sometimes, most of the time actually, you will be sitting out there somewhere with no load. And this is the biggest mistake owner-operator makes. They don't have the money in the bank that they can afford to sit in a truck stop for 2-3 days until that good paying load comes up. So most of these truck drivers, they have to run all the time. Even if the freight is cheap, they have to run it all, they have to take it because they can't afford to sit. Once again, if your pocket is deep enough that you're not always forced to take the cheap loads, you will make money that way. The goal of an owner-operator, Aasif, is not to run a lot of miles. Your goal will be to run as minimum miles as you can with the maximum profit. I know it's a little confusing, but the less mile you drive, you're actually upping your profit, providing that your load is a good paying load. And just like any business out there, the more you put into it, the more you're gonna make money out of it. If everything goes well, Aasif, if you're an owner-operator here in the United States, after all your equipment is all set up and everything is running perfectly good, I would say you better have about $15,000 to $20,000 reserved in the bank. And especially if your family depends solely on that income. Because there are going to be days where you're going to get sick. There are days that you're going to have a downtime. You don't have a load to run. And once you start missing a week payment or a month of payment in your equipment, then you start digging yourself a really deep hole. And pretty soon, you don't know it, you're done. So that's the way I would do it. A lot of these owner-operators want to be out here on the road. In fact, they don't even call them owner-operators out here anymore. At WEL, they don't have owner-operators anymore. They have LP, lease purchase. You lease purchase their truck, and you pay that truck like $600 a week, and all the maintenance is yours. From what I hear, most trucking company out there will lease purchase their vehicle once the warranty of the truck runs out. Then they will lease it to the driver, and guess what? You become the you just now become the warranty, because anything that breaks down in that truck, you pay for it. The company is off the hook. And usually companies out there will sell you the truck about twice as much as what the truck is worth. For example, in the market value, a truck is worth $12,000. They will sell it to you for $25,000 plus interest. Then they will charge you, what is it, 25%? Yeah, they will charge you 25% of what that load pays for the dispatching, for the phones. So everything, when you become a lease purchase on a trucking company, the trucking company makes 100% of every aspect of that trucking business. They make money by selling you the truck. They make money by saving them on the maintenance. They make money by saving them the insurance. They make money by charging you 25% of what the gross of the load is. What else? I tell you, see, they will make money in every finger that you have, in every way possible that you can think of. It's like a casino. The house always win. And here's the insult adding to the injury. Every week, because the settlement is paid every week, regardless of how much money you made, they will take all of their charges first, then leave you with the rest. Sometimes truck drivers out here, the lease purchase drivers, they only make $100 for that week. or less. And so that's where the painful part of it, because they don't consider that week you had a bad week. They will not say, oh, well, you know, you had a bad week this week. We're not going to charge you this week. We're just going to skip this week and charge it to you next week or some other better days. No, 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 no. They will get their money first and leave you the rest. It doesn't matter if that was a penny. In fact, they will even charge you negative if you made less. And guess what, Aasif? Here's another painful truth about lease purchase program. A lot of lease purchase program drivers out there will end up returning the truck to them. They will lose the business. They say, oh, I can't do this, I can't afford this. So they will end up giving the truck back to the trucking company. And what do trucking company do? They will find another they will find another driver out there foolish enough to lease, purchase, and buy that truck again, and do the same old cycle. And that is why it is so dangerous for this lease purchase program. At the very, very minimum, that you want to be an owner operator, go to the dealership and get finance and then maybe you lease it to a trucking company. But you still need deeper pockets, because as I said, there are going to be days where that week is there's no load, there's a lot of breakdown, or some really bad weather, snowstorm, tornadoes, or whatever. To make the story short, Aasif, is if you had to live paycheck to paycheck on your trucking business, forget it. Don't do it. Do not do it. But the most ideal way, as I said before, finance your truck, your trailer, get your own license, your business license, your own authority, insurance, and all that. Get as much warranty as you can, and then put a lot of money in the bank as a reserve for maintenance, for fuel, for the week that you don't have a good week. That's the way I would do it, Aasif. And how much a truck driver, owner operator can make? If everything goes well, if you manage it right, I think my friend Bob, he averages about $1.80 a mile, $1.84 a mile maybe. For every mile, for every time his truck runs, he makes $1.84 a mile. So that probably puts him up to about 75 cents a mile that he makes. And Bob can testify to that, because That's where I learned it from Bob. Bob doesn't need the money every week. In fact, Bob can go on a vacation for 2-3 months. He goes on a cruise ship to the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands a couple times a year. But Bob is also very, very smart when it comes to business. He knows how to negotiate with brokers. Well, I hope that answered your question there, Aasif. Peace.